Okay, let's do it. Come stand on the mat. I'm going to take up some space here, nice wide stance with the toes turned out and arms down by our side. Feel free to keep the eyes opened or take a moment to close the eyes. As you do that, turn your attention to the breath and welcome yourself to this 45-minute Triple B practice. And lift the arms up to the sky, open the eyes, make the palms touch as they come to the top. Exhale, forward fold, touch down to the ground. Feel free to bend the knees a little bit to make that happen, especially first fold of the day. Relax the head down, try to relax head, neck, shoulders here, pretty heavy. Let a few exhale sighs out through the mouth. Then walk both hands over towards the right foot. As you do that, we're going to try to come down towards a squat on the right side, but in this lateral position, flex the left foot and drop the hips down. I've got my right heel lifted off of the ground. Don't worry about having to set it all the way down there. Looking for a stretch through the groin on that extended leg. And then nice and slow, we're going to walk ourselves on over to the other side. I know this is a hard position for me, and I notice that it is for many. We don't often get into the inner thigh as much as we work outer thigh. Sit as low as works. And again, that left heel might come off of the ground. Use the hands to help. And then we'll go back to the center, turn the feet more parallel to one another, and again, just forward fold there. Like a sumo squat, walk the elbows up to the thighs, turn both feet out again. Sit low. And then change all the way up to standing. Heel toe the feet together and come stand at the back end of the yoga mat. Release the arms down by your side after just a little bit of opening stretch. One more steady, intentional breath here. And release. Triple B sun salutation. Lift the arms up to the sky. And then exhale, forward fold. Walk out to plank position. We're going right to plank here. Hold plank for about 5 seconds. And then slow mountain climbers. We've got 8. Go straight down the center line. More like you're walking it than running it here. Squeeze the abs each time the knee comes in towards the chest. And then walk the feet up towards the hands, kind of like an inchworm. And change, come all the way up. Stand up, body weight squat. You're down and up, feet about as wide as the mat. Keep the toes turned straight ahead. 4 more here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. These always meant to check in with the body, our range of motion, how we're feeling today. Walk back to plank pose. And then downward facing dog. Stay here in downward facing dog for a few breaths. Pedal out the feet. And then walk the hands backwards to the feet. Rise up, lift to the sky. We'll do the whole thing one more time. Again, we're going pretty slow here. We're not trying to do a fast pace today. Walk it all the way out to plank. Hold for about 5 seconds. And then those slow mountain climbers, but this time try to twist under the body as you do. So like right knee towards the left elbow and left knee towards the right elbow. Stepping it through. After 8, it's the inchworm. Walk the feet to the hands. So there's a bit of work in stretching the hamstrings that comes in, and then rise all the way up to standing. And switch to the body weight squat. Getting the legs, knees especially, ready for a lot of lower body work today. Nice squeeze of the glutes, little push the hips forward each time we stand. You go back to the forward fold. Feet go back to plank position, and then downward facing dog. A few breaths there. And hands to the feet. Stand all the way up, arms to the sky. Release the arms down by your side. We go right into butt kicks here. Just picking up the heart rate a little bit more, making sure that we're good, warm, and ready to go. Keep going with the butt kicks. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the feet back wide apart. Instead of staying to one side, just go side to side here. No hands. In our lateral lunge. Butt can shift back a little bit, chest a little bit forward to create the space for this. Keep the knees over the middle of the foot. Try to keep the feet parallel to one another. Just a couple more on each side here. And then come back to the center and do full torso rotations side to side. Again, not worrying about the speed, but really getting into that full rotation in the torso to activate low back and sides of the torso, nice and strong and stable, working together. Pause back into the center and go into gatekeeper. Stay on one leg, up and around, about 5 times. Good, and then do the opposite direction on that same leg, 5 more times. I think we did these last week. Switch to the other side, walking up and down the length of the mat. That's always open as well to us. I've got my 3 and 5 pound weights set out today. I'll probably use the 5 pounds throughout, as the point of the weights is to give a little bit more resistance in the legs. Legs can usually handle a little bit more. All right, shake out those legs. And we'll go right into our series with the weights. I'm going to pick up both the 5 pounds, so they've got 10 in total, and just hold at my chest. You can find any way that you would like to hold the weights, even straight down here, we're going to sumo squat. So the feet are wide, turn the toes out. Weights are just there to provide a little bit more resistance. Find your low point in the squat. You can check out that the knees are turning out as much as your feet and hips are. And then once we find our low point, we're going to come about halfway up and all the way down. 12 times up and down. That's 2. Up and down. Think butt straight down, shoulders, head straight up. Try not to lean forward. I like to exhale on the lift, as it's a little bit of the harder piece of this puzzle, working against gravity. I think we're at 10, 11, and 12. Heel toe the feet all the way back in. Today I'm taking the entire circuit of exercises from the top to the bottom before we go back and repeat it all. So here we are in deadlift. You go down low, nice hamstring stretch here. Little tiny bend in the knees so that we're not pushing the weight and the worry into the back of the knees. Have the low point be about mid to low shin, but not as low as the ankles, a little higher than the ankles. And we'll just stand straight up and then go back down. This is usually the one that's sneaky, and you feel it the day or two after. Less so, at least personally speaking, in the actual exercise with these lighter weights. We're doing 10 here. This is about 5 for me. 5 more. 5, 4, 3. Try to keep looking forward the whole time, chest up so it's not curling down with the movement towards the shins. Okay. For the next one, I want you to set down the weights, body weight only. Place the hands at the waist. Sometimes we do a Russian deadlift, RDR, like Warrior 3, with a weight, but today I want the focus to be without. Touch the right toes back behind you, little tap. Slight bend in the left knee, that's not going to change. And then as the torso goes down, the legs should lift up. I want you to hold for a spot there at the top. And then come down nice and slow as well. The leg can come down to the floor each time to check your balance, or try keeping it lifted off the mat the entire way. Think about a count of 3 and then a little pause, and then a count of 3 to lower it down. Count of 3 to lift. We're doing 5 on each leg here. Really great core balance work. Lots of stability in the outer hip. Ask if we fall, as I often do, moving through this exercise. Just use it as an opportunity to try one more time. Notice where that imbalance is and play the game of adjusting. Go to the second side. Again, 5 on each leg. We're in no rush here. These do not need to be quick. Most of my battle in working one-on-one with folks is just to slow everything down. We want that time under tension. Really see the details of your alignment. Five here on the second side. And then shake out the legs. There's 2 more exercises in the series. Pick up the weights again. Was moving on to the last one. All right, well, this is just good old lunge. And we're gonna set the lunge, right foot forward, left foot back. So we're not having to step in and out of it. I'm just holding the weights down by the side. Same sort of thing as the sumo squats, where it's just giving us a little bit more resistance. Make sure the weights don't pull you down and forward in the torso. We've got to stay upright. Find your low point, bend both knees with that back knee just right above the mat, and then come up towards your high point. And we've got 10 like that. 10, 9, 8, 7. Push down through your front big toe to help sustain balance. 4, 3, 2, and 1. I like to walk the back foot in to switch sides. However you get there, left foot forward, right foot back. Take your time to set. Find the low point. See, chest upright with the shoulders up, back, and down. And we're here for 10. I make the action mostly happen in the back leg. I'm thinking of lifting and straightening and coming back down to that low point each time. Less movement in the front side of the body. We're looking at just 10, and then step it forward. Last exercise in the circuit, set the weights down again. Thinking hips again, so hands at the hips. I want you to swing your right foot out to the side. The tendency is to open up and make the toes point towards the sky. I want, as you open, to keep both of those headlights of the hips faced forward, and the toes, as a result, should stay faced forward as well. So we're lifting out and stepping back in a curtsy. It's 5 each side, and again, checking the balance as the leg comes up or down. Totally fine. If it doesn't need to happen, skip the check. And that lift out to the side does not have to be huge. Try to keep the hips square rather than lifting too high. Just 5 and 5, like the RDL, to keep us with some focus here. Two. Body weight for what I think are the trickier pieces of the puzzle today. All right, shake it out. So that's the full circuit. We're going to go back through it from the top to the bottom. We'll see where our time allows us after that. A little sip of water here, take a couple more breaths, and then we'll go right back to it. All right, so again, choices and where to set the weights. Straight down, racked at the shoulders. I'm doing mine like candlesticks together with elbows out to the side. Find the low point in that sumo squat. Chest still upright. And we're here for 12. We come up and down. Again, we're going about halfway up, not letting the legs straighten so that we really get that time under tension for the muscle group here. Nice broad opening through the knees, to spotlight that strengthening and flexibility work in the inner thigh and groin today. As usual, I'm lost count, but I'm at about 10, 11, and 12. Straighten the legs, heel toe the feet in, arms with the weights straight down by the side, and then bring them to the front of the thighs. Deadlift, go down to the low point, little bend in the knees. Think half lift here, like we do in sun salutations, nice spine. You keep that length of the spine, and we come up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Set the weights down, move into the RDL. So we're trying no breaks in between these, just going right, fly through the circuit. Right foot goes back, little bend in the left knee. 3, 2, 1 to find the lift. 3, 2, 1. Back upright in the torso. 5 like this on the right side. Steady the breath as much as possible. That always helps keep balance. And switch legs after 5. As much as there's no stop in the sequence, working it all the way through. We're also not rushed in the actual exercise. Thinking again, count of 3 to get there, count of 3 to come back up for this one. Try to keep the hips as square as possible, not letting the top hip lift and open. 1 more here. And then we're transitioning back to the lunges with weights or without. Right foot forward, left foot back. Find the full stride, low end. And we're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Safely setting the legs, square hips and shoulders towards the short side. Find the low point, and off we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, looking good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step it forward. Weights go down for the last exercise in the circuit. Hands at the waist is the lift with the curtsy squat. Start with the right leg lift. Swing and curtsy squat back. 2. 5 on each side. And I'm liking where we are on timing. Plenty of time to get in a third circuit. 4, right, that one flew by. Shake out the legs. Again, about 30 seconds here. Then we'll do the whole thing one more time from the top to the bottom. Should leave us enough time for a quick little cardio heart rate lift before we do some abdominals, a little stretch, and we're out. Okay, back to the sumo squat, toes out, knees out. Weights at chest, shoulders are straight down. Let's get into that low point. And this is the longest repetition here. We've got 12, 2, 3, 4, 5. Think chest straight up and down. Less forward like happens in a regular squat. Good. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Heel toe it in. Rotate the palm grip to face the thighs. Find the low point of the deadlift. And we've got 10 lifts. Up for 1, 2. Nice squeeze and tuck each time we lift. 3, 4, 5. 5 more. 5, 6. We're looking to build strength and range of motion, flexibility. Nice full body work in this deadlift. All right. We set the weights down and move into the RDL. Just for kicks, let's start left foot back first here. Switch up the sides. Come to that warrior 3-like position, and then think count of 3 to stand it back up. Count of 3, pendulum goes down in the torso, up in the leg. We're looking to focus on the habits that are there, maybe give it a little bit of a switch up so that the body, the mind, notice a little bit more. Sometimes that switch of habit is as easy as what we're doing here. Left leg goes first. Go on to the second side. I get that switch stance, if you will, throughout my days and weeks, as I do a lot of mirroring as I teach and then non-mirroring as I practice on my own. And I definitely see how my body benefits from that. Mind has to stay active. 5 on each side, shake it out. We pick up the weights to go into the lunge. Again, nice full stride, starting in our low point with both knees bent. Seeing that strong lift in the chest. And we lift and lower for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Second side. No rush to find it. Find that full stance. Set well. And then 10. Strong engagement in the abdomen the whole time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Safely Step forward, set the waist down. Lateral leg lift into the curtsy squat. Again, switch and do your left side first. Out and curtsy. Switch to your second leg after the fifth lift. We'll get 5 more in here, and we are on to different things. Hope you're feeling strong today. Roots of our legs to carry us through whatever comes on this day, this week. All right, good time to get that sip of water or just take a little bit of pause. I'm going to step to the back end of the mat for the pause, just arms down by the side. Bring the heart rate down a little bit first before we lift it back up. All right, if you need a little bit more pause, please continue to take it. But as we're ready, we're back into the butt kicks from where we started. Make sure your mat is clear, no weights in the way. We're here for 10 more seconds. Good, take the feet wider apart. And we're going into those lateral lunges side to side here. Make sure the opposite leg is all the way straight from the place you're leaning towards. Good, each side 2 more times. Stay to one side, doesn't matter which, and turn to your low lunge. Drop the back knee down to the mat. Both hands to the front thigh so that the back hip flexor can really just release forward and down. For some folks, rather than leaning forward and down like we're doing here, it can be more effective to stay up with the same arm as the back leg and a little bit of reach over. We're looking to get a little stretch and release through that back hip flexor right now, the front of the back thigh. And then wherever you are, flip around. You can turn 180 degrees or just switch the legs into your second side. Again, back knees down. I like to take the hands up to the thigh with a little bit more vertical lift in the torso here to spotlight the hip flexor. And again, there's that option to draw all the way back with a reach over as well. And then we'll switch to downward facing dog. Find where you want your hands on the mat and have the feet at the opposite end for downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank pose. Hold plank, shoulders right over the back of the wrist here. Plank can be done on the toes, or especially here as we're working towards the latter half of the practice, feel free to take it to the knees. Still getting in great stabilization work. And lower this flat down to the belly. Back extensions. Take the arms forward, feet back. We're going to lift up 10 times. Take the arms towards goalpost or goddess each time you lift. A little bit of a pulse there. 10, 9, 8, 7. I'm focusing on just lifting the upper body, keeping the feet on the ground. Feel free to do the same, or let the legs fly each time as well. I think we're at 4, 3, 2. Arms can, of course, stay in that same position. Should have said that earlier. And 1, press back to child's pose. Nice stretch and release right here in child's pose. Just let it be for a moment. And then switch to sit down onto your butt with the legs out in front. Got a quick little core blast to take us home here. I'm going to keep the heels on the ground so that I don't reactivate those hip flexors. Can really focus on obliques, and we're just twisting from side to side. This can certainly be done with a weight in hand, though you, of course, don't have to. Nice and slow. Sometimes we go a little faster in these. I want to really emphasize the twist. Keeping heels down so this stays in the belly, working those side abdominal muscles, the obliques. A few more here. And then stay in the center, take the hands crossed at the shoulders. This is the top point of your crunch. We're gonna go all the way down and try to come back up to that top point, which should be about 75% of a sit-up. Now if hands there make you kind of pull on the shoulders. Certainly they can just be out in front of the chest. I don't usually recommend hands behind the head because I personally haven't figured out how to not pull on my head and neck when using the hands in that manner. 3 more here is all you need. Up and down, up and down, up. Lay it all the way down, and then we're taking feet up into the air. Hands trying to touch the feet. And we lift and stay lifted for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set the feet back down. We have one more exercise before we get to call it a day. Heel taps or pigeons. You come up into that little crunch, head, neck, shoulders off the mat, and then lean to one side. Try to tap your heel and over to the other side. Do singles here as fast as you can for about 5 seconds. Fast, 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 fast. And then slow it down with double taps, right and left, right and left, double taps, right and left, triple taps. Go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Back to the double, right and left, right and left. 4 more, right and left, right. Singles as fast as you can, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. For 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Pull the knees into the chest. Oh my goodness. Squeeze it in. Breathe in. Release it out. A couple more times here. Since we ended with that oblique focus, set both knees down to the right side. In a twist, supine twist, should feel nice there. And exchange to the other side. Back into the center. Come up to a seated position. Give yourself a hug. And the other arm on top. Great stretch for the shoulders and just that self-body love. And that sends us home. All right. Thanks for being here for Triple B. See you next time.